This is the 1 hour loop of this song, by the way, so I'll just let it play. Yeah, alright, obviously I'm not going to actually... Well, I mean, I say obviously I'm not going to actually... That is the sort of thing I might actually do. Woke up to a lovely comment on my YouTube. Somebody said, is it as horrible to record yourself talking like that as it is to listen to it? Which at first I was like, ha ha ha, but then I realised, oh no, they're just being mean. That's not funny. They're just saying, this is horrible to listen to. What the fuck are you doing? So I deleted that comment lest someone else should see it and jump on board and think it's okay to talk like that. I think there's a term for it specifically, but that's what you do with Nazis. If there's a Nazi, if you own a pub or something like that, and someone walks in a swastika t-shirt, you know, maybe they're nice, they're not hurting anyone, they're just in there having a drink. You tell them to get the fuck out, and they might complain and be like, "Well, I'm not doing anything. I'm just literally just sitting in here having a drink, and I'm just wearing my shirt. You know, it's whatever. It's just what I believe in." Doobie. But no, you get the fuck rid of them, because if one of them thinks it's okay to just hang out there, if they get the idea that, oh, this place is all right, I can hang out here, then they might bring friends along, and then they might bring their friends along, and then soon enough it becomes a Nazi pub. There might be a better explanation or way of saying that. I don't know, what is that, an allegory? Is that an allegory? Oh, maybe that's what the person was talking about. Not just, you know, me, my voice in general, but if I get like that. If I talk like this, oh, is this fun? Is that an allegory? Is it allegorical? Is it analogous? Oh, excuse me. So that was a lovely, you know, I always like getting nice comments on my shit. But like I said, I delete those comments purely because, well, mainly because I don't need to see that shit. Well, every time I check my notifications, if there isn't a certain amount of new comments that like make it so I don't see that one anymore, am I just going to see it every time I open the fucking app? No, get rid of that shit. Don't talk to me like that. Fuck you. This is not a democracy. This is just, I upload my videos, and if you enjoy them, cool, and if not, fuck your mother. You motherless cocksuckers, you. I had no intention of actually going on about it. It just popped into my head as I was thinking, oh shit, what do I talk about? Quick, come up with something. Oh, YouTube comments, am I right? But then, I mean, to say like, YouTube comments can be bad sometimes, it's hardly fucking news, is it? It's par for the course, isn't it? It's par for the course, which I think is a golf term. Wasn't there a war over golf? See, because GULF as opposed to GOL. I've no idea what the fucking Gulf War was about. Maybe it was about golf, but someone spelled it wrong on a bit of paper and they didn't want to seem silly, so they said, no, it's about the Gulf of fucking wherever and this place. And then, shut up, Ewan, you fucking cunt. Oh, hi everyone, welcome to the show. It's a really, really, really good show. There's paints and things and drawings and stuff, and sometimes I use the word cunt. Do. Rinky-dinky-dinky-doo. I'm painting this picture. You might have seen something of it. I don't think I worked on any of it on the podcast. I think I mentioned it on the podcast, and then because I've been recording the process of it, and because I'm trying to do it well, this isn't a piece I'm happy to have as just like a fairly loose, messy piece. Some pieces I'm absolutely happy to do that, and some pieces it suits having a messier, looser approach. But this one I actually want to try. I want to really put the effort in. As maybe you can tell, there's quite a lot of shit, got all the details in like the skin and the bones and the shit, and I'm not too happy with the pterodactyl, but I'll switch that up when I get some outlines in. The wings are a bit, and I mean the head could be up a bit, but it's good enough. I'm happy to say it's good enough for now. That's what we'll fucking really. I'm really happy with Judge Fear, and I was a little bit apprehensive about painting him because I don't know, he's not very, but he's a bit different to the other judges. I don't know, there's just something about him. I was like, I don't know, I might fuck him up. There's chains. I hate painting chains. I was also a little bit worried about Judge Mortis's skull head, but I think that came out more or less okay. But yeah, Judge Fear. I got the lighting on his helmet and his shoulder pads and stuff. I'm really happy with that. And then this will change a lot towards this is maybe halfway done, I'd say, because I've still got to do Judge Fire, get him done, and then there's going to be loads of like orange bits in between them. Like there'll be a glow on here and here, a bit of glow under his arms here, and then maybe some like orange lines around each of the judges a little bit, just to layer them a bit so they're not all mashed together, just to sort of separate them ever so slightly. I'll do something, probably a darker orange around behind Judge Death, and then there will be not loads of outlines, but a decent amount of outlines, and then a few finishing touches, some highlights and stuff. So there's still quite a lot to do, but I'm really happy with how it's going so far. I think there was a huge gap of time between me doing for me even starting the fucking thing, but between me doing Judge Death and then moving on to Judge Mortis, and I've only, like in the last couple of days, I've gotten all this done, so I'm moving forwards with it finally, because as I say, I've been a little bit like, it's quite a lot, it's a lot of detail, a lot can go wrong, I want it to look good, I mean obviously, and someone has paid for it, so I was a bit about it, but I'm really happy with how it's going. It's coming along nicely. Sexual innuendo coming nicely. You get it. A lovely person gifted me this tiny little bottle of Red Label blended Scotch whiskey, Johnny Walker. I assume that's a thing people who drink alcohol might know. I'm not like I don't know alcohol, so I don't know if Johnny Walker Red Label whiskey is good. It smells like whiskey. It tastes like whiskey. it's pretty good. It tastes like Tullamore Dew. That was the first whiskey I ever had. Big bottle of Irish whiskey, because I read that Irish whiskey is a good one to start with. Because I had to Google how do I drink if I've never drunk before. And I've got just a little bit of ginger beer left, so I'm gonna. And it's refrigerated, so I don't need. Well, ice would be nice, but yeah, it's not. It's chilled at least. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I could drink that. Get myself sauced while painting the dark judges, and then start having visions of fear and death and fire. So let's fucking. That's all there is to it now. It's literally just fucking dive in, fucking get into it, cunt. There may or may not be periods where I'm literally just sitting quietly and painting. I might edit those bits out. I might, because the point of this is I do want to have like a really cool, wicked, happening video at the end of this of painting each of the dark judges, which I think I'm perfectly on my way, perfectly well on my way to getting to having that cool video. I've been recording my process so far, and it's a lot easier for me to just sit and paint, some headphones on, or listen to a fucking podcast or whatever, rather than worry about talking and being, I don't know, informational and or entertaining, if I can be called such. So I think Judge Fire does have like a some sort of like dinosaur or pterodactyl skeleton on his shoulder pad, and I will be painting that when I think towards when I do the outlines and things in like a dark red close enough to black, so when I do get to it, it will really stand out against the fiery orange of the rest of him. And that's another bit. I've got apprehensions about each of these dark judges that I'm painting. His skull I was a little bit about, and also I feel like all the bits of him seem really separate from each other. I don't feel like they gel together brilliantly. I think his hand doesn't look like it belongs to him necessarily. I might be able to switch that up. I might have to paint over it with a bit more of a bone-ish kind of colour. I think Judge Death works. I was a little bit unsure of how to have him, if it was just his head or his head and his hands. I think the angle of his shoulder pad is a bit fucked up, but it should work as a whole. The pterodactyls. Judge Fear I was a bit about, and then now Judge Fire I think is maybe the one I'm the most unsure about painting, because I'm not just painting a guy, I'm painting a guy on fire, which means I have to paint fire and lighting effects on and around a person on fire. It's not exactly... It's a sort of thing that's like, is cool, and really I should spend more time doing, because it's fucking cool. Why wouldn't you want to paint people on fire and shit? But it's just not something I've spent a lot of time doing, and as such I'm a little bit almost nervous, you could say. I'm almost nervous about it. Get some of the background in. Like, the background should be very, very light around him because he's glowing with flame. I could take a note out of the Nick Klein Incredible Hulk with Ghost Rider, couldn't I? Like, I could literally just be copying parts of that. Maybe I should. Maybe I should go and get that comic right now and look at it and go, okay, I get it. But I'm sat down now. I don't want to get up, move around, do shit. Ugh. fuck that. Just this morning, I watched for the very first time, which may surprise you, the original 1974, I think, Wicker Man. The Wicker Man. See, because I saw the Nicolas Cage one back when I was in college, when I was like 18 or something. I was at my girlfriend's house. I think her parents got it on DVD, and so we were just like, oh, should we watch this? Yeah. And I don't care for memes in general. I don't care for trends, for jokes that get played again and again and again. And I'm aware Nicolas Cage is a bit of a meme actor. Frankly, I don't care for him as an actor whatsoever. I've not really liked any of his films, and any films I have liked have not been because of him as an actor. Because some actors do that. Some movies you'll watch because of a certain actor that's in them, and some movies are certainly made brilliant by the actors and the acting within. Personally, I don't feel Nicolas Cage has ever done that to a film. I think all of his roles come out feeling meme-ish. And I don't think he's a good actor. I don't think he makes good acting choices. I'm just not a fucking fan of Nicolas Cage whatsoever. Him and Ben Stiller are like two of my least favourite fucking people on the planet. Ben Stiller, I just can't stand looking at him. He's just got such an irritating face. And maybe I have as well. Maybe I'm not one to talk. But as an actor, I don't like him either. And Nicolas Cage, don't like him as an actor. And in The Wicker Man in 2004 or whatever it was made, 2006, 7, 8 maybe. That's a perfect example of Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage. And there's the well-known bees scene. Ah, my eyes! Oh no, it's not the bees! Not the bees! Ah, my eyes! They're in my eyes! Yeah, we get it. So I knew I'd seen parts of the original Wicker Man, and I knew the concept of it. Policeman goes to a place to investigate a thing, and then he keeps finding everything's a bit fucked up, and then eventually, they put him in the Wicker Man, and but I didn't realise quite how. I knew it was kind of subdued, like it's not a big horror show. But I didn't realise quite how mellow it was. I thought there'd be more stuff going on. There was still plenty of stuff going on, but I wasn't remotely disappointed. I think straight away it hits you with like just the weirdness where he's I won't spoilers necessarily, but he just walks out of the bar, the pub at night, and there's just people fucking in a field, just a bunch of people. All couples, but they're all just fucking in a field. Like right outside the pub, not like a field far away, just right outside the pub in the grass. And so straight away he's like, what the fuck is going on? As he's trying to find this missing girl. And that basically continues for the film. But what I really like is I assume this was done on purpose. Actively like. It feels like it's not necessarily anti-Christian, but certainly mindlessly following traditions while putting down other people for their traditions. The whole time he's like, what are these kids learning? They're learning about sex and fertility. Don't you teach them about Jesus? That's like literally what he says. Why aren't you teaching them about Jesus? You should teach them about Jesus. And I mean, all of them played it well. It's obviously a famously known film for a reason, but I think I didn't realise at first, but it's Edward Woodward who plays the policeman, and he's just a cock. He's just a fucking cock of a person. At one point, he's going and he's basically breaking into people's houses and looking around trying to find this missing girl, and it's like, you can't just do that. A couple of times they mention, you'll need a warrant for this, you'll need a warrant for that, and then he threatens those people with like, you'll be arrested, and it's like, well, okay, but you need a warrant. You can't just fucking show up and start breaking into people's houses. But it's okay because they burn him alive at the end of the movie. Spoilers, I guess, as if you didn't already know the end of that film. But yeah, there's no scene with the bees where they strap him down and put a bee's nest on his head and he's screaming for his life while the bees are in his eyes. No, it's all very sort of subdued, and the I guess you call it like the patriarch, the Lord Summerisle, who's the guy in charge. He's very cordial, very relatively pleasant. The policeman wants to dig up the grave of this person who is evidently, supposedly, the girl the missing girl he's searching for. And the guy in charge is like, yeah, I guess if you've got to dig her up, you've got to dig her up. Fucking do what you got to do. So he's not like, oh, I can't let you do that. Heavens, desecrating our grave sites, how dare you? He's like, no, do what you need to do. It's all good. But I won't get into spoilers, but you realise why he was so accommodating towards the end. But yeah, man, that film was a good time. I enjoyed watching that, and it's nice and short as well. All fucking modern films, whatever they are, they're just fucking 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours long. Like, fuck off. I don't want to watch a film for that long. I don't want to. So yeah, Wicker Man's perfect for that. It's like 88 minutes, I think it said on the piracy website I was viewing it on. What's that? An hour and 20 minutes? Not even an hour and a half. Not even an hour and a half. Imagine that. A stupendously well-known, famous film. Not even an hour and a half long. Bloody brilliant, that is. Bloody brilliant. Oh, that's bloody brilliant, isn't it? Isn't that fucking brilliant? Bloody great. It's fucking bloody great. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm painting, that's what I'm doing. I'm fucking painting, and it's fucking good. It looks fucking cool. I'm at now, literally what I'm doing right now is randomly sort of half guessing where I should be putting the fire, like in the creases of the clothes. Does that work? I might have to paint over some of that because I'm not entirely sure it works, but it might work. I don't know. And I'm also torn between trying to really make the flames look flame-like and really fade it from like orange to yellow to white, or just have a sort of orange haze around him, and then use like light yellows for the actual flames proper. I think that could work. Keep it quite bold and graphic-y, kinda. Might work, I don't know. So I've got these drawings of girls in my armchair, because as you know, I'm constantly surrounded by naked girls, just all the time, so many around always. I get them to do little poses in my armchair. Oh, who's this guy? What's he doing? That's a bit fucking weird, isn't it? And I really like it as a series. There's an artist I follow on Instagram. She's quite a big-ish artist in her own little space, and she does her thing in like, I think she's based in New York or LA, or she's based in one end of the States or the complete opposite. And she recently did a series of a bunch of people in a chair that she has, a much more extravagant armchair than I've got. It's like a Chesterfield, and it's all fancy and shit, gilded edges and fucking whereas mine's just a humble, shitty little armchair I got from a charity shop. But look at all the tits that have touched it. Well, asses, I guess, more so than tits. But yeah, I never intended it to be like a series of drawings, but it's sort of turned into one. And I'm very, very... I feel very grateful and fortunate that I've been able to draw a good amount of people in my chair. But I want to sort of expand it. I want to get more people in my chair. She's got a pumpkin for her head. That's funny, isn't it? What's going on there? What's going on there? This one's all right. Really like this one. I really like the body on this one. She didn't have a pumpkin on her head when I drew her. I added that just for fun. You know, he's like, oh shit, I've got to draw something for Halloween. Oh, I don't know, stick a pumpkin on her. naked broad's head and call it a day. So basically, you know, it's art book time. Well, I guess we can start with this one because this is my current sketchbook. I recently had the lovely Emma sit for me in my armchair. Got some drawings of her in there. These are just obviously quick, rough sketches, and that's what some of these are. Some of these are more sort of loose, rough sketches. Some of them are much more sort of refined drawings. Move this guy over here. And that's the only ones in there. Oh, there's me in the armchair, like the thing. But what I have is, I know in amongst some of these sketchbooks, I don't know which ones specifically, but I know in some of these there are drawings of people, girls, whatever they identify as, in my chair, and so I want to have a flick through and find them, and then I'll use post-it notes to mark the pages, and then I'll scan them and then make a little thing and be like, oh, look at all the people in my chair. Oh, this is a really good sketchbook. No quitters, only titters. I'm not going to take the time to go through every page of every book. Well, I will, but I won't like focus on every page and every drawing. I think I do recall this being a really like nice book to look through. All the pages are like, there's stuff going on. I like some of the layouts and the things and stuff. Oh, hey, skateboarding goblins! Look at that. As I did some of that recently, didn't I? I did a whole fucking thing. And yeah, they're. Oh, this is the when I did all the colours. They're made. That's quite good. I like that. And that one, that's funny, isn't it? But yeah, some really, really good drawings in here. I like. Where the fuck did they go? So am I going the wrong way? Yeah, I am. Oh, fuck. Yeah, really nice drawings. If I do say so myself, which I do. That's a nice tit on legs, isn't it? Yeah, there may or may not be people say, oh, those are nice. There may or may not be people sitting in my chair in any of these sketchbooks. There's definitely some in some of them. Oh, the post-apocalyptic. One day, I swear I'll get that. Those are called drawings. Those are called drawings. Post-apocalyptic Millhouse. One day, I will. I promise. I'll get there. Don't worry. I will. We will. This one I'm going to mark because the person that is a drawing of actually asked if they could have that drawing, and I said sure if I can fucking find it. And now I fucking finded it. So that's something. This is one of my, I think my possibly more or less most recent. Oh, it's the one Lobster Rob inside his cock. Yeah, I don't recall there being any drawings of girls in my chair in this sketchbook. That's good, isn't it? A nice portrait in there. That's cool, like that. Death Fist. I'm going to have to scan all these Death Fist pictures. I'll put a post it in here just to remind myself. Because I think if I do get, when I do get the Death Fist sketchbook together, that's a cool one. Sketchbook, book, comic, graphic novel, the full thing. Those are good. Then I would like to have a section of like these sorts of drawings in there. Some rough Death Fist drawings. Also, I think when I do get the Death Fist book finished and put together, I would like to have a Death Fist like fan art pin-up section. So I'll get to that closer to that when I'm ready to like put the book together properly. I will put a thing out on Instagram saying, you know, if you want to have a drawing in the Death Fist book, show me a drawing of Death Fist, and I'll probably put it in there. Because that's nice, isn't it? No, that's two sketchbooks with none, zero drawings of girls in my chair. Another Death Fist. Mark this one as well. Even if I don't have girls in my chair, I've got cool things going on. Death Fist has evolved, not loads, but he's definitely has evolved. Oh, look, that's a good one. I really like that one actually. That definitely needs to be in in print somewhere, doesn't it? This was a good sketchbook. Yeah, I like these little studies. They were fun. That was good. That led to that painting. That was really cool. Like this guy. More death fists. Not amazing. Not the bestest death fists. But some pretty cool. I like this one here. I like his faces. I like that I get different expressions even though he's got like a skull face. How does that work? That don't fucking make no sense. I like that. That's quite a cool thing. Painting. Ah, that was my... Oh, fuck. I think I've got the pages right here. Fuck out of the way, you. It's interesting to see how shit develops. That one and that one. So... I mean, this, just to show that's what Valentino was going to look like first. He was going to have a more spiky haircut. He's basically the same, but I gave him, like, kind of mini dreadlocks. And then, see, I always had that in mind, to have a page like this. I think, as I had mentioned somewhere, my ideas and stuff for the comic have changed here and there as I've been doing it. And I think originally... I thought it would be funny to have them saying fuck you, but realistically that doesn't really work in the context of the comic, like them saying fuck you at each other. And then even here there's a little design to show the mirrored page that I wanted to have, where it's Valentino big and Death Fist small, and then on the opposite page Death Fist big and Valentino small, and that's exactly what I fucking did. So that was cool. Some development there. It's good to see, isn't it? Oh, that's nice. This was one of those... There are a few episodes like that where it's just like, I have no ideas what to do for the episode, so just draw some random shit, and this one was murder-based. I think it was episode 187, and it was like 187 murder. You get it. And the drawings that come out of it are just like, whatever. But it's something to do for an hour, isn't it? Babies with tits. Oh, brilliant. Just brilliant. Oh, I was really happy with these drawings. I really, really like this one from that magazine that Biggie Z got for me. An old vintage porno mag from the year I was born. That was a really cool gift. Ah, that's where that guy came from. Don't know what the fuck he's doing. It's a bit weird, isn't he? Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm stopping on every page to talk about every page. Can't. It's just going to take fucking forever. A big fucking stack of books to get through. I'm just trying to find some very specific drawings that I know I've done here and there. Where's Haley? Aww. You know, I just don't know where these fucking drawings are, is the fucking thing of it. Cool asses and legs. We love asses, legs and heels and shit. Hey! That's cool. I mean, I know it's copied from Jim Murray, but it's pretty fucking neat, isn't it? Oh, Dread. That was a good one. Oh, the 200th episode, grand... Not finale, grand fucking whatever. Shut up. And the Death Fist I did, that was originally going to be the front of the sketchbook, but I hated it, so I swapped it out and I made that the front of the sketchbook. That's really interesting, Ewan. Maybe you should just die. Get dead. Die. There's a theme here, isn't there? I remember this being quite a fun sketchbook to look through after it had all been done as well. Some very good nudes in there. Oh no, this might be, because that's my friend. She sent me those photos. I thought that was a really fun photo to draw. Ah, that classic. That got a lot of likes and love and attention online. People really, really like that. It's one of those things that, like, I just thought, like, oh, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? And I put it online, and it just gets fucking swamped with people liking it, and I'm just like, oh, Jesus. I didn't realise it would resonate quite so powerfully as it did. But sometimes it does. Oh, cool. This was my pal Jess in my chair. She didn't want to go full nude, and that's totally fine. She's just in her underwear, but I really, really like... the combination of her sitting in the chair, and then I got her to sit upside down in the chair, like hanging her head off of it. I really like that. Pretty sure I did get photos of that, so I can draw them better at a later date. But yeah, I really like that page. That's really fun. like that. Definitely gonna keep that one marked. Oh, Death Fists. I'll put another marker in just so I know there is more than one thing to look at in this book. That is me in a coffee shop, and I got my knob out on my sketchbook. I like this Death Fist drawing. It's not one of the brilliantest, but it's a pretty good one. Some more Death Fists. I like this one here. The shape of his body, his leap. That's not bad, but... And as I did mention, you can see I have my development of drawing his poncho, not necessarily accurately, but certainly in a more visually pleasing, dynamic kind of way. So I'm glad that I was able to do that, because I had mentioned some time ago. This is when I was in a mental health care facility. I drew that. That was fun, wasn't it? Crabs. Battle crabs. That's funny, isn't it? See, this is me, whatever, just because I was in that place and all that was on my mind, because I was trying to stay away from porn, was porn. So all I could think about was fucking tits and dicks and bouncing asses and things. And there's me, and then there's Flesh Bob, and he's similar, but all he thinks about is killing, cutting people in half, chopping people's heads off, tits and things. Oh, I love it. Fucking love it. I really liked this, but I hated the green. Like when I uploaded it to Instagram, which I did at some point, I think. I might have gotten rid of it since, but I really, really disliked the green. If I did a blue, I think it would have worked better. I think I didn't do blue because I thought, well, I've already done blue for the Uzis, so I don't want too much blue, but it would have worked much better with blue. I like this skull. I think that's really cool. Orcs. Doing it again. Just get through the fucking sketchbook soon. I was about to do a Borat impression. My wife. I was literally about to say, "Oh, hey, that's me! Wow, brilliant! Oh, I love that guy. Well, he's alright. Oh, Joe! Cool. Drawings of Joe in my chair. He's in my chair there. She's in my chair all over the place. Pregnant Joe, not just any Joe, but lovely pregnant Joe. My chair with a big pregnant belly in my chair. Obviously, very quick, rough drawings. Which is always difficult I always find it more difficult to draw in person because I feel like I'm hurrying because I don't want to spend hours and hours with the person sat in front of me. So I try to get quick sketches done. And that's why most of the time the people I'm drawing are very generous or just friendly and let me take photos that I can draw from later on to save them having to sit for hours and hours while I do a fucking drawing. Oh, this was a good sketchbook as well. I really like this little montage. I think I'd planned to do more. I don't know why I drew Hobbs. Was it Year of a Tiger or some shit? I don't know. And Max. It's quite cool. It's a whole bunch of shit. Just a whole bunch of shit. And that's what I miss. I feel like my more recent sketchbooks are missing the bunch of shitness. Whereas this is just a bunch of eds, just a bunch of garbage, a bunch of shit, just a bunch of raw fucking doodles and shit. Whereas my current sketchbook, I feel like it's one thing per page. It's like, this is this character, and then you turn the page and it's that character. I don't do enough silly stuff like this. I miss doing stuff like this. It's not even that long ago that I was doing this, but I was really happy with this drawing. A Beast Rex. That was a Draw This in Your Style from Beast Rex. That's a cool one. Quite a lot of leather faces in these last couple of sketchbooks. Small soldiers. I was going to do a big small soldiers piece, wasn't I? But shit happens, doesn't it? You work on this, you work on that. Deadwood. I was going to say Westwood, but that's some fucking British wigger. Sponge. I love that text. The G is backwards, so it looks like a J kind of, but it's still a G, but it's back. Oh, yeah, I really love that, like graffiti font. My pink cock. Yeah, some really, really cool drawings in this one. Like that. That's really cool. I was really happy with that one. Well, the tape's fucked up the ink. Hey, there's that. It's from Freddy Got Fingered. You can't hurt me, not with my cheese helmet. It's funny. Yeah, I really like this sketchbook. Like, this is a fun one to look through. There's a lot going on, a lot of funny, different little things to see. Sonic was fun. Just a dumb fucking little pink Sonic with no arms. I like his shoes. That was a fun drawing to do. And I think that's what's important. It's when the drawings are fun to do. Like, the shapes of this are fun to do. And I feel like these days I am really bogged down in, like, oh, I want to mark this page, actually. I actually very recently redrew this person. I think it might be right here. Yeah. Very different hair, but same person. It's quite cool, isn't it? Hooray! Another friend in my chair. Both of those are in my chair. You can't really tell that she's in my chair there, but you can tell a bit more there. Cool. I'm finding the drawings I was hoping to find. That was a funny one as well. I really like this drawing. And that's almost a shame, is that I do some really good drawings in my sketchbooks, and then they just get like closed and thrown onto a pile and possibly never seen again. But, like, that's a really fucking good drawing. They're like different tones of inks and stuff. I like the curves and the shadows I got on the rib cage and stomach there. Some nice graffiti lettering. That was a whole thing. There's me in my chair and it's a hot day and I'm all melty. Ew. Thing. There's that guy. Cool. So I am finding some of the drawings I wanted to find. That's good. Oh, hey. Right, there may be some in here then. This is getting old now. This is an old sketchbook. I think I looked through this in a video recently. I'm finding it difficult to flick through them. I think my fingers are just fucked. There's Pickle Rick. I turned myself into a pickle, Morty. Yeah, some okay drawings in here. This is quite an old one. This is, I think, when I still had a day job. Ugh, imagine that. Imagine having a job like some fucking chump. Yeah, this is when, years and years ago, when my friend Hayley came to visit, so I got quite a few drawings of her done. I really liked these drawings, and these were done, like, in person as well, so that they came out surprisingly well as a result of that. And she brought this lion head mask with her, so I did quite a few drawings of her wearing that. That was quite a nice little series of, like, her opening the coat and taking it off. And then that fits the series as well. Might have to redo that series, but, like, drawn better. And then that was her in the mask also. I think that's because it's Hayley I drew with the pumpkin head in the chair, so I obviously have drawn her in the chair, but I don't think any of those drawings, it's her there and those are her. Obviously haven't drawn her in my chair in this sketchbook, I don't think, so God, I should take all that paper out and use it for something. Christy! Nah, that's so no marked pages in that one. Ooh. Bit bland. Oh, straight away! Who's that? Oh, yeah, I don't know if I should be saying all the people's names. I believe that's Rebecca. In my chair. And that's something I like to do, which is made evident by this. Obviously, that's not my armchair, that's just a chair. But I do like getting people in my armchair or whatever, and having them in the same pose, and then do a bunch of drawings of different people in the same pose. It makes for a nice little, like, series thing. So, like this, that's a friend of mine sat like that, and then there's someone else sat like that. So it's good to have different. These aren't the best drawings ever, but they're. Oh, is that it? Oh, there's more drawings. Oh, cool. Okay, even more paper. Jesus, I've got to one, actually use my sketchbooks until they're full up, and two, if I don't do that, fucking tear all the paper out and use it later on. Cool. Let's get another marker in here to make sure I know that. That's, yeah, I did a couple more of those. Katie with the skull. and without the skull. It's all just the same shit. And in that one, I drew in person, but then she let me take a photo, so I was able to then draw it better. And I was really happy with the drawing that came from that. Oh, those are cool too. Again, this is Katie. Really, really lovely girl. And more. And lovely drawings came out of that. I really like those. Like the lighting on that's really good. Cool, man. God, I haven't seen these drawings in fucking years. Almost fucking straight forgot about them. I could point out, oh look, that's this and this, that, and this. I just fucking, I want to get through and find the goddamn drawings. Whack-a-me. Oh. The drawings of depression. I want to look at one thing. Because somebody commissioned me to draw an anteater, so I was drawing a bunch of anteaters. And I was like, I don't just want to draw an anteater, so I wanted to draw them as like a character. So he's got like claws, claws. I really like this actually. Like the nose and the ears of the anteater. There's a person in an anteater suit. There's an anteater in like a little Winnie the Pooh t-shirt, but it's all torn up and he's smoking a cigarette. That's how I like them. So yeah, another one. There's quite a lot of stuff in many of these books that are actually good. Imagine that. Yeah, I'm going to have to scan a bunch of stuff in. There's Karen. Fuck! The Animal Crossing ducks. This was a good sketchbook as well. Lots of just fun, random stuff going on. A lot going on. That was a really nice one. I really, really like this drawing. I think the that person was a little bit unsure of whether or not they wanted me to post the drawings. So I'm not sure if I ever actually did that. Oh, that was another one. She didn't want me to post the drawings. I think she was just a bit worried about people realising it's her or whatever. So, titty skull. Not one of the... Oh, that might be one of the first few I did. A really good one. I really like that one. It's really, really cool. That's really cool. I'm really good. Oh, aren't I bloody brilliant? Aren't I just the fucking best? Nice little series. They're all... Oh, those are the same person. Those are different other people. Doesn't matter. It just is what it is. And that's the draw. That's Katie. Cool. I'm going to mark that just because I like that drawing. I might take it out. Maybe frame it or something. Oh, that's also got the rat. Oh, shit. That. I love that as well. Ballpoint drawing of the rat, and then I painted the guts coming out. It was based on a photo I saw on Instagram. And then you up the contrasts and stuff on Photoshop, and it really makes it like impactful. That's a really, really good one. I was really happy with that. And I was also really, really happy with this. I mean, that's really, really cool. I like the concept. It's like it's me drawing her in my book while she's there, and then it's a drawing of her while I'm drawing her in. That was cool. That was really, really cool. I was trying out Copic markers for the first time. Or whatever the fuck. That was kind of cool. Galactus. Whore bunny. Oh, that was from my cross-hatching practice video thing I did, I think. I might have done a better version. I like that. That was just because I used like a permanent marker for the outline, so it showed through to the other side, and then I used that to do this, and I actually really like it. That's really cool. Another one where I'm just fucking great. That's quite a cool dread. Not perfect, but a pretty cool one. I like that. That's cool. Yeah. Nice noses. We love the noses. Might mark that as well. A certain person I was going to show that to. Not such a cool dread. I think I was just using up paint on my palette or something. I had some excuse of why I painted him. But yeah, not remotely happy with any of that. I can do better, I swear. And that's cool. I like that. That's cool too. I like that. I fucked that one up. I really like this drawing. But I'm usually really good with not using marker on certain pages where I know it will bleed through and ruin the drawing on the other side. In this case, I spaced out and that's quite a funny little Toxic Avenger drawing, but fucked up this drawing and I'm really annoyed about that. It doesn't matter, it just fucking is what it is. There's another nose there that I quite like, so I'll mark that as well. Quite a cool goblin page. Ugh. The King in Yellow. Oh, that was a nice one. I like that with flowers and shit. Oh. That's my bed that she's on. But I don't think I have her on my chair. I don't think I was as conscious of it, of like, model in my chair for me, as I would be nowadays. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good butt. I don't know if there are any more. I can't even picture. Most of the drawings of girls in my chair, I can picture in my head. I just need to fucking find them. Gun Viking Monster Man. I need to mark that as well, because that comes into play very, very soon / currently, so need to keep an eye on that. That's really nice. That's the same girl who took several photos, and so that's just 2 photos, but they go really nicely together, I thought. Yeah, so I can picture the drawings in my head, I just can't picture where they are, but I think I've found most, or fuck it, whatever. Jesus. Ooh. That certainly is some whiskey and some ginger. Right, we're going in with the bright yellows. Gonna get these flames a pop in. This is gonna make it like pop as well. This is really gonna make shit jump out right at you, coming at you, hot in fire, hellfire blazing, and all that shit. You won't even know what shit you. That was funnier in my head. You won't know what's hit you, but with the word shit in it instead of hit. You won't know what's shit you. Still funnier in my head, not remotely actually outwardly funny. Never mind, eh? As we're painting some cool shit, completely irrelevant, let's look at some of my recent notes. Check yourself regularly or get a friend to help. Testicular cancer. That's a drawing. I did it years upon years ago, and then I randomly remembered it, and I was like, that's something that is funny still. And I definitely need to redo that, because I think that could get a lot of attention on Instagram. I think people will really find that funny. So it would be a drawing of a guy stood there, like with his trousers pulled down and his shirt pulled up, like how kids go to the toilet when they only got to go pee, but they lift up their shirt and they pull their trousers all the way down. That was weird, wasn't it? It was always the weird kids in school that did that shit. I should know. I was one of them. I wasn't really. Or was I? I wasn't. But I might. I was. And then, so he'll be doing that, and then he'll facing the camera, and then in front of him, facing away from the camera, because there'll be a guy on his knees with his head right in front of his cock and balls, so it'll look like he's giving him a blow job. So that'll be the picture you'll see at first. You'll be like, "Oh, there's a guy giving another guy a fucking blow job. This is a bit X-rated, isn't it, Ewan? What's going on?" And then you read the caption, and it says, I don't know. I'll put some stats. I'll actually research it. I'll look up, incidents of testicular cancer among whatever age males, whatever, wherever, whenever. And it will say, check yourself regularly, or get a friend to help you. And that's what is happening. He's getting his friend to help him check for testicular cancer. That's funny, isn't it? That's fodder for some humorous little cartoon drawings, isn't it? Cancer of them old testicles. Ah, can't beat cancer of them testes. Ah, there's nothing better than a bit of testicular cancer to come up with humour, funniness. Endless are the possibilities. And then I could do other cancers as well. Check yourself or get a friend to help you for breasticular cancer or just breast cancer. And then there'll be the same guy just going around checking everyone's tits for tit cancer. But then it starts to get a bit like, no, that's a bit grimy and not so funny. Not because testicular cancer is inherently funny, but because, the idea of one guy getting another guy who's a friend to help him check is kind of funny. But then some guy going around touching women's breasts under the guise that he's looking for cancer is a bit less funny. So I might not do that one. I might keep that one undone, if that can be the term that I use to describe fucking whatever. And that's why that didn't make it onto the post-it notes. The post-it note was just testicular cancer. Keep it light, keep it funny. With testicular cancer, everyone knows that's where the fun is. The fun and games, testicular cancer. Oh. After watching Wicker Man, it made me want to make folk horror, like British folk horror porn. There's almost certainly going to be like some kind of Midsummer porn parody, like from the film Midsummer. There has to be. There's got to be at least one out there, if not multiple. And there's bound to be a few pornography films that are based on like cults and midsummer pagan rituals and witches in the woods and stuff. But I think it would be cool if that became a genre, and if I could become like the leading director of British folk horror pornography, because there's a lot of stuff to do with like fertility. So there is a lot of people out in the fields fucking, and naked girls dancing around fires and stuff. And I think it could be made to be actually erotic. I think if you watch a film like The Wicker Man, the point isn't that it's erotic. The point is almost the opposite. It's not about. I mean, it's about sex and fertility, but it's not about being turned on and fucking jacking one off while your partner's asleep in the other room. It just is what it is. It's very plain. They are human beings and they have sex and they do things. But it would be interesting to take that, basically the aesthetic, into like really artistically made pornographic films. And I wouldn't have like scripts, so they wouldn't be like that. I remember seeing some some shitty like late night TV documentary or something about pornography, and they were interviewing one of the actresses, and she was saying she was really proud of like the film she was working on. She was saying how, it's none of this ooh, it's real acting, there's lines and everything. That was almost verbatim what she said. And even then, I was probably watching this when I was like 15 or something. I remember seeing that and just being like, fucking shut up. Like, that's not why people watch porn. People don't watch porn to see acting and lines and stuff. It's basically about the vibe. I mean, if the acting and lines put across the vibe of fucking stepsisters and brothers having sex, then cool. But it's pretty much irrelevant. You just get down to the nitty gritty of it all. In the same way that like you don't need dialogue to make a film good, you can have silent films, and they'll still be fucking brilliant. But I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just want to make porn with like cults and trees and witches and pagans and fucking people in animal masks standing in a circle or surrounding people fucking, but like make it hot, sexy, people fucking, I don't know. I don't know. It's just what I was thinking about. Oh, that's the Necronomicon that we already did. Goblin in Lowly Worm's Apple Car. Do you remember I think it's The Incredible World of Richard Scarry? It may be just a British thing. It's like a cartoon series of all these animal people living in a town, and they all have fucking adventures or whatever. I think it's a British staple. I think most British people will know what I'm talking about. But there's a worm who drives a car. There's this worm guy. It's quite funny because he wears a shoe. He's got a hat and like a shirt and a trouser, because he doesn't wear a pair of trousers. He just wears a trouser because he's a worm. So he's just like a long guy with a funny cartoon face, and he's got hat, trouser, shirt. He wears a single shoe because he's a worm. Just at the end of his worm body is a shoe. And he drives a car, and his car's an apple. And I think a propeller comes out the top of it at some points, and he flies away. I think. I might be making that bit up, but I'm pretty sure that's an actual thing that happens. But yeah, I want to do I was thinking this space looks really blank. Like, I've just got to fill it with flames and stuff. But no, that's where the fucking skeletal bird thing's going to go, isn't it? Yeah, although it'd be really fun to draw like a goblin driving that car. I could get really into it and draw it, make it like it's heavily implied, but make it obvious that the goblin has killed Lowly Worm and stolen his car, which is a little bit rough, but you know, especially for you shouldn't fuck up childhood things like Peppa Pig or Mickey Mouse. Leave them to be clean and pure as they were intended. He says. I just thought that's a funny visual, just a little goblin driving that apple car. I mean, that could look just funny as it is, but then if you know the reference, if you know where it's from, if you know The Incredible World of Richard Scarry, you know Lowly Worm and his funny little apple car, which I think has a propeller sometimes, and then he flies away. Then you'll go, oh, that's from The Incredible World of Richard Scarry, that's Lowly Worm's apple car, and sometimes it has a propeller and he flies away. And if not, then you just go, oh, it's a goblin driving an apple car. That's quite funny. It can literally be that. That's all it needs to be. That can be enough. Maybe. That was a funny idea, wasn't it? Oh, goblins. We all like goblins and funny little apple cars and things. Apples play a part in the Wicker Man. That was something I was unaware of prior to actually seeing the goddamn thing. They don't play a major role. They just, they're mentioned. Part of the crops that are failing, hence needing a human sacrifice. Ooh. Quite convenient that this policeman shows up out of the blue, isn't it? One might even say it was meant to be. Speaking of goblins, goblin can with goblin cans. Brackets, tits. I've done this previously, years and years ago, painting on spray cans. Like, you get empty spray cans. What do I do with them? I know, let's turn them into art. And you make art. I've done that a bunch. I drew funny faces on them. I've painted them. I painted one to make it look like it was see-through. And then it was like a bottle. It looked like it was a bottle, and it was showing like a clean version of this cutting board behind it. Oh, that was quite cool. Long since lost it and never got pictures of it or anything. But I did that. I promise I really did it. I'm not making it up. You can do a lot of cool shit with that. It's quite a cool fucking thing to do. And I think it's one of those things that, like, people who aren't necessarily that artistically inclined can appreciate. Like, painting on found objects in general is quite a nifty thing to like do and to see being done. So empty spray can art is quite cool. And then there's this guy Kip Toe. Is that hello if you're watching? I think he watches some of my videos. He seems to. He leaves comments every now and again. He's up there. He's I don't know if he's a big YouTuber, but as far as like YouTube artists go, he's doing his thing. Well, maybe he should give me a shout out sometime. And let's work together. Let's collaborate so I can get more followers and you can get like 2 people that haven't heard of you before already. All of my selfishness aside, he's made, I think, a small series of videos of him painting all these characters and things on empty spray cans, and that got me thinking, like, I could do that. It's been a while, and I've got plenty of empty spray cans around. Well, not plenty, but some. That's the thing I could do easily enough. Why don't I do that easily enough? And then, obviously, my first thought was like... Well, actually, my first thought was I could use some modelling putty and, like, sculpt a flesh bob face with the eyes and the nose sticking out, and then the buck teeth and stuff, and his little cheeks, and then the top lip, and then the rest can be painted. That could be quite cool. But then I was like, well, goblins, obviously, it's going to be goblins, isn't it? It's always going to be fucking goblins. And then because it would be a goblin can, a spray can with a goblin on it, and the word cans can be used as a euphemism for tits. I thought, what if I draw a goblin with big tits, and it'll be a goblin can with goblin cans, and then I could do many of them. It'd be cans of goblins with goblin cans, goblin cans with cans, and they can all go to a film festival, and it could be goblin cans with goblin cans at Cannes Festival, featuring goblins with cans on cans in Kansas, which doesn't host the Cannes Film Festival, so that'd be silly. That would just be silly. So that's something I could do. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe that's, maybe not the 250th episode, the 12-hour extravaganza. I am planning on doing that now. Before it was an idea, but now it's pretty much set in stone that it's going to happen. I've got an idea for it, of like what to do for that 12 hours. It won't be like loads of different projects or anything, but I've got a pretty decent idea for a thing to do for 12 hours, which is maybe silly, but fucking it's something to do, isn't it? But yeah, it won't involve painting cans on cans, painting goblins on spray cans. But that might make for an okay sort of just separate episode of the podcast. I do feel like I'm sort of like needing to fill in the gaps between now and the 250th episode of like, God, I just need like a handful more ideas of shit to do in my podcast episodes until I get to the 250th episode. The grand, not necessarily finale. I'm not necessarily going to stop. It's just I had the idea that I might. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how things turn out. I think the whiskey's affected me. I've not had a lot, but I don't drink much in general, and I do have an empty stomach, and I'm a bit tired, so it's probably several of those things together making me feel a bit ooh. Cans at the Cannes Film Festival. Goblin cans with goblin cans at Cannes Film Festival. Some of them from Kansas. Some of them cans you, cans me, cans us. I hate myself for that. I wish I was dead. Sometimes I wish I was dead. Wouldn't it be funny if I was dead? No, it wouldn't be that funny, Ewan. It wouldn't be that funny at all. It would be... Imagine how sad everyone would be if I just died. And they'd all suddenly be like, I should have given him money while I could. I should have gotten a commission off of him while I had the opportunity. And now I'll never be able to because he's fucking dead. What a prick. What a prick Ewan is, being dead like an arsehole. What a fucking melon. I don't know where the word melon came from. That was a bit weird, wasn't it? Melon. I don't think I've ever used the word melon in that way. Where the fuck did that come from? What a fucking melon. All the dark detail will be added in atop the rest of it with darker paint at a later date. That will come with like the outlines and such. So Don't fret. If you had been fretting previously, you needn't have, because that's all in hand. It's all being taken care of. Maybe not right now, but it will be. It'll get there. Don't you worry. Don't worry. It's all planned. Mostly, somewhat. It's some of it's planned. I know what I'm doing for some of this. And for other parts, I don't necessarily know, but I'll figure it out along the way. It's not all about the destination. It's about the friends you make along the way, or how you learn to paint along the way. The techniques you learn along the way. Fucking shit and piss. Oh, Cum Nerd was just from a conversation I was having with somebody. I'm not even going to get into what the fuck it means. Cum Nerd. Medieval Earthworm Jim, though, I don't think that's been done. It probably has been done. That idea probably came from that like Space Marine Earthworm Jim miniature I did a drawing of based on a screenshot of a thing that I stole someone else's art for my own purposes. It wouldn't surprise me too much to see someone had done some kind of medieval Earthworm Jim, basically like a D&D type Earthworm Jim. But also, if someone hadn't done it yet, then that'd be cool too, because then I could be like, I could do a medieval Earthworm Jim, which is just Earthworm Jim in like a suit of like adventurer's armour, give him a sword and shield instead of a ray gun. I could draw the whole cast of characters as like as medieval people, as opposed to being sort of sci-fi futuristic people as they are in the cartoon. I guess they're not that sci-fi futuristic, but they are a little bit sci-fi futuristic, aren't they? You know, they're all in space. There's a professor with a monkey for a head. That's quite futuristic, isn't it? Sci-fi kind of thing. I can't remember if last time I played that song on the podcast, if I got a copyright warning. I probably did. But now I'm just thinking like the very first like 3 minutes of this episode is just going to be... Well, obviously it doesn't affect me. It's just I only worry in the event that it could affect me at some point if they change the rules, or if I just happen to find a song that is banned everywhere and I literally cannot play it for a funny thing in one episode. That's my only real concern. And even that, it's not a real concern, is it? It's just fucking whatever. I think that looks alright so far, does it? I just stood up and looked in the phone, in the screen, in the camera as I'm recording. And yeah, I think that looks really cool. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's definitely getting it. And then the glow on Judge Fear really works and the glow in general. I think that's cool. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this is going. It's one of those things, because there's been many times where I've started a painting and been a bit unsure of it and felt like I'm sort of learning as I go, which this whole thing feels like it's been. And then maybe not even halfway in, maybe a quarter of the way in, I'm like, oof, this is just not working. That happens an irritating amount. But this is one of those opposite times where I feel like I just happen to be, I don't want to say getting lucky, because I am, I've put the work in and I've sort of learned what to do in certain aspects. But yeah, I feel like this one I have in a way gotten lucky, and it more or less has worked out for the best, just in general. So I'm glad about that.